We are officially now at episode 115, going strong. So for everybody that's new here, if you're a first-time listener or viewer, just know that this is a weekly show that I host on both Facebook and Instagram. And the reason and YouTube as well. But the reason I host this show is really as a way to hop on, interact live, be able to answer questions, and also celebrate success. So different wins that members of my company, Dropship Lifestyle, have had, I like to be able to call them out, shout them out, and give them the recognition that they deserve, because they don't just listen in, they don't just join a course, they actually take action, they make things happen. So I really enjoy that part of this show as well. So with that being said, guys, we have a lot planned today. We're most likely going to go between 45 minutes and an hour. I'm going to start off with what's new at Dropship Lifestyle. I'm going to be sharing some of those weekly wins. Then I'm going to talk to you about the best products to sell online, because we got a lot of questions about that. And from there, we will jump into the Q&A. So whether you're watching this on YouTube or Facebook, whatever, go ahead, type your questions in the chat. And that way, by the time we get to the Q&A portion, you will be right at the top of the list and ready to go. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to roll the intro and we will get into today's episode of Dropship Weekly. Love that new intro. Okay, guys, let's kick it off with what is new this week. Couple things. First off, if you are a member of Dropship Lifestyle and you're watching this, I just want to call attention to the fact that next week on Wednesday, August 5th at 2 p.m. Eastern is our members only coaching call on GoToWebinar. So if you're a member of Dropship Lifestyle and you're tuning into this, make sure to mark your calendar, keep an eye on your inbox, because you're going to get that reminder for the members only coaching call, which again is this Wednesday, August 5th, next Wednesday, I guess, at 2 p.m. Eastern. Another update and something new I just wanted to share for people that aren't aware. I have a podcast that I host twice a week, and it is called eCommerce Lifestyle. So every Monday and every Thursday, we publish new episodes. If for some reason you're not aware of it or not subscribed to it, just go ahead, use your phone or whatever it is you listen to podcasts on, and search for eCommerce Lifestyle. Look for that little cover photo, that's me. Click subscribe, and again, every Monday and Thursday, you get a brand new podcast. I intentionally keep them short, typically between like 7 minutes and 15 minutes, just quick takeaways that you can get, hopefully implement into your business to help you grow. And speaking of growing, I want to share some wins, again, from our community from this past week, since last Monday, that I've seen on our Facebook page, email, LinkedIn. I just like to pull a few different random ones every week, again, to shout out the people that are doing the work, that are getting the results. So this one here, I'm sorry if I butcher your name. I think it's Moise or Moisey. And he says, just want to talk a little bit about my journey. Sorry in advance for my English mistake. He said, I'm making good progress. He joined Dropship Lifestyle on May 4th. And he said when he started, he was watching all of my ads almost every day for 2 years while trying other courses. Then an accident happened. I'm not going to read his full story because he did share a lot of personal information, but I just wanted to congratulate him. Let's do the applause. Because basically where he came from was a place of trying all these different courses while seeing Dropship Lifestyle in the background, finally signed up, joined the community, took action, and now results are coming. So congratulations to Moise, and I wish you nothing but success in the future. And obviously your English not being strong doesn't matter. I could barely speak English, and you're already getting results. So good for you. This is just a shout out to our design team, and congratulations to Julie. She said she bought Dropship Lifestyle as a birthday present for herself in May, and she gets up 45 minutes earlier than normal to do the class online and get the kids ready before work. She said she just finished module 3 of the program, and she had our designer Laura build her website. And she said it would have taken her 1,000 hours to figure out the web design portion on her own. So great testimonial or feedback, I guess, for our web design team, but also huge congratulations to you, Julie, for just jumping ahead, going right into module 4 and having a gorgeous site that is ready to show suppliers. So guys, show your support for the members. Give a like if you're watching this on YouTube, or a like on Facebook, wherever you are. And yeah, I hope that applause worked, because if not, I'll do it like this for real. Congratulations, guys. This one is from Brahim, and this just came in, I think, yesterday. And he said he got his best sales in one day. 2 orders for $623.20. That is awesome, especially because it's only from 2 sales. So congratulations to you. Hard work pays off. And here is to many more and even bigger days with less work involved. This is from Simon. Also, shout out for the web design team. He said, if anyone has been considering using the Done For You web design service but are unsure, all I have to say it is well worth the investment. Laura did a fantastic job. It's aesthetically pleasing and easy to use functionality. And yeah, we did some great research for the niche. And I like this though. He said, my really fussy teenage son even commented that the site looks really modern and good. If you have been unsure till now, just go with it. You won't regret it. So awesome. Thank you for that, Simon. I'm happy that the site we built for you is family approved, and wish you best of luck with it. And then just one more, guys, before we hop into today's topic. This is from Mark. The resolution's kind of compressed. I'm sorry about that. But he sent this over on LinkedIn, showing his sales for the month of $292,258.04. And as you can see, that was just a massive increase because he's just getting going. So congratulations to Mark on an amazing month. And congratulations to everybody else, whether you're having your best sales day or just getting your site designed so that sales can start rolling in and that you can start bringing in the orders. With that being said, guys, speaking of bringing in the orders, what I want to start with today before we do the Q&A is what I call the best products to sell. And I'll be honest, I was thinking about this topic for Dropship Weekly and what specifically I want to share, because when it comes to building your store and doing product research, it's a rabbit hole, right? And there's a lot of things that make products good, and there's a lot of things that make products maybe not so good. And one of the questions we get mostly, if you're a regular attendee on Dropship Weekly, you probably know this, is what is the best product to sell right now? What is hot? What is trending? And last week, I kind of talked about how that's not what I look for or recommend looking for in the episode called The Compound Effect. But what I wanted to do this week is share more than just saying that's not the right thought process. I wanted to give you 3 different actionable tips and I guess sets of criteria that I always look at when I'm brainstorming different products to sell online. So what I'm going to do is share those 3 different tips and I guess pieces of criteria that I look for with you right now so that you can start brainstorming the right way. And again, if you have any questions as we're going through this, just ask them in the chat because I will be answering questions there after we get through this little training portion. And what I'm also going to do, just heads up, foreshadowing, in next week's episode of Dropship Weekly, I am going to be showing you how to validate your niche ideas. So this week is all about going ahead and researching and brainstorming. Next week is about validating. So if you want to take notes, take notes. With that being said, let me go ahead, pull up the digital whiteboard here, and we will get into it. So let me also mute that. I think I have some audio feedback from my headphones. So when it comes to, again, product research, the way that we do it, the first step, let me right over here so you could see it. Step 1 is what I call brainstorming. And when I'm saying brainstorming, I'm really talking about like not going online and trying to find a list of products to sell. Of course, we even give you a list of 237 products if you want that as a way to start. But I'm talking about like literally just sitting down for 30 minutes or an hour with a pen and paper or your notes app open and trying to brainstorm things that fit the basic criteria that, in my opinion, give you the best chance of success when building an e-commerce store. So the first thing that I look for when brainstorming, and I don't want to say it's most important because they all are extremely important. The first thing though is pricing. Now, if I was just going to give you one thing and say, okay, this is all you need to know, it would be that when we're looking into different niches and products to sell, we always want the products to sell for $200 or more, ideally more. In fact, on most of our stores, our average order value is $1,000 or more. So AOV, meaning average order value, how much the customer spends when they are checking out and when they are actually buying something from us. Now, we're gonna break this down a little bit more because it doesn't just mean anything over 200 is good, not in the slightest. But first, for everybody, again, that's new, I wanna show you why we look at this and why it's so important when it comes to dropship lifestyle and building a lifestyle business. Again, this is called dropship lifestyle for a reason. So we're gonna make this little chart here, and I will draw this out for you to hopefully make some sense out of it. So we have sale price, we have profit margin, and then we have profit per sale. Now, what we'll do is compare different products at different prices. So let's just say here on the left, we are comparing a cell phone case. I have one on my cell phone right now. So we have a cell phone case, and then I am standing at my stand-up desk. So let's compare those two products, right? So we have a cell phone case and we have a stand-up desk. Now, for sale price, this would be the price that you sell to customers for. Somebody goes to your website, this is the price that they pay. With a cell phone case, the average price online, we're gonna use averages because it's easier, is about $10. And with the stand-up desk is about $1,000. Again, averages because it's just easier. So one thing, someone would go to your website, they would spend 10 bucks. The other thing, they would go to your website, spend 1,000 bucks, both placing one order. Now, with drop shipping, when you're doing it the right way, when you're working with suppliers that enforce MAP, we'll talk about that later in next week's episode. But the profit margin should be about 30%. And it's give or take. There's definitely times where it could be lower, and there's definitely times when it could be higher, but for an average, 30%. So what does this mean when it comes to profit per sale? This is net profit. How much money do you keep? Well, with the cell phone case, something small like that and cheap, you would make about $3 net profit per sale. And with something like a stand-up desk, you would make $300 per sale for doing the same amount of work, for driving someone to your website, a visitor, for having them become a customer, for shipping them the product or drop shipping them the product. You're doing the same thing, except when you're selling more expensive products, you're making more money. Now, I do want to kind of dive more into this because, again, there's not like one rule that controls everything, and it's not always true that your margins will be this. So we will be talking about that in the second tip for this episode. But let me know, guys, if this is making sense so far, give the video a like or give it a thumbs up, and just let me know so I can make sure everybody is tuned in. I didn't do our normal audio visual check when we first started, so I do hope this is streaming because we're already too deep into it. We're going further. But yeah, first thing you want to note, right, is when it comes to pricing, more expensive is better. And if you're thinking like, okay, well, that's an example of a $1,000 product, why did you say minimum is $200? Well, because at $200, even with, here, I'll draw this out down here. Let's pick a $200 product. I'm looking around. Okay, I have like a light in front of me and it's on a light stand. Let's keep this going. So we're gonna do light stand, and that was about 200 bucks. So again, if we were drop shipping them, assuming about a 30% margin, then on that sale, we would make about 60 bucks net profit. Now, why does that matter, right? Well, it's better than 3, it's worse than 300. Does that mean you should always go more and more expensive? No. Again, we'll talk about more of that in validating niches next week. But the reason I want to be able to earn at least that net profit is because when you're first getting started, especially when you're brand new and you're learning the business, you can't just make a few bucks here or there. You need to have real money coming into your business and stacking so you can build a bankroll and basically build a cash reserve. That way you can literally grow your business and you can afford to do things like eventually hire a team or maybe get a VA to help you with phone support, or maybe reinvest more money in ads. It's extremely hard to do that if you're only making a few bucks per sale. So here, if you're making, let's say in the $200 example, 60 bucks net per sale, let's just say you get 3 sales per day. Now you have a business that's making more than most people make at their actual full-time jobs. That literally could take you 15 minutes a day, okay? So that's why. We don't wanna work for less than minimum wage. We wanna build a business that actually makes money, not only so we can take out profits, but so that we can reinvest and we can grow. And let's just look at this one more way before we move on to the second tip I wanted to share when it comes to the best products to sell. And what I call this is calculating your TMP. Now, your TMP stands for target monthly profit. And this is a really good thought experiment, especially for people that are, again, brand new and just trying to figure out what the best products for them to sell are. So here we have your target monthly profit. Next, in the next column, we will do our profit per sale. And then in the third column, we will do sales, meaning units sold, how many units needed to reach TMP. Again, TMP meaning target monthly product. And we'll just compare those top 2 products before. So we're gonna do our cell phone case and the stand-up paddleboard. So here we have our cell phone case. And I apologize for my terrible handwriting, but it's one of those things. I'm 35 years old and it is what it is. It's not getting better anytime soon. I've accepted it. So we have our stand-up paddleboard. Okay, so let's just say, again, you're new and your first goal, right? You're like, okay, I'm new. I'm going to enroll in Anton's program, Dropship Lifestyle, that was voted best e-commerce course by Shopify. I'm going to build a business and I want that business within 6 months to make me $3,000 net profit a month. So we'll choose that. So you're saying, I want to make $3K, again, per month net profit, not gross, net. So meaning the money you can actually take out of the business that stays in your bank account after all your expenses are paid. So again, looking at this example and the profit per sale, with the cell phone cases, remember we were making $3 per sale, and with the paddle boards, we were making 300. So the most important column here on the right, how many sales, meaning units, do you need to reach your target monthly profit? Well, with cell phone cases, to make 3K a month, you would need to sell 1,000 units a month. And with paddle boards, you would only need to sell 10 units a month. And I don't think anybody here is dumb, so I don't need to ask this question, but what do you think is easier to do? Sell 1,000 of something or to sell 10 of something, right? It's not rocket science. To sell 10 units of anything in a month, assuming you have the right niche and assuming it meets the criteria and passes the checks that we do for validity that we're gonna cover next week, then it's not hard to sell 10 units of anything. That's like one product every 3 days. Rather than having 1,000 customers, 1,000 people you're dealing with, 1,000 shipments, and trying to somehow manage that business, okay? So first thing, pricing, it is extremely important. Now, the next thing that we wanna look at, the second out of 3 tips I wanna share with you today, is demographics. Something that is extremely important that we are constantly looking at when we are researching new niches. Now, demographics, you can segment down to, you know, I don't know, an Asian woman who's 33 years old that lives in Brooklyn and that's interested in organic food, right? You can get that tight with demographics. That's not what I'm talking about for the purpose of doing research and for brainstorming niche ideas like we're talking about in this episode. I'm gonna keep it as high level as possible because this is something that I've found to hold true amongst all different industries. So let's break, again, demographics into broad buckets, and we're gonna do 3 buckets. So one of them is going to be, in the middle, we'll just do it here. We have upper middle class. Then all the way on the right, we're gonna do wealthy. And then all the way on the left, we're gonna do low income. Now, not saying anything about, you should never sell products to any of these different demographics, but if you are trying to build a dropship lifestyle business and you're trying to have things so they can be as automated as possible, where you don't need a huge team, where you don't need a whole bunch of, support people and everything working on it, for a very specific reason, you want to sell to the upper middle class. So let's just plug actual products in here so we can make more sense out of it. Let's say you sign up with Dropship Lifestyle. You go through all my training, so you know this already. But you're a member of our program, and you're like, okay, I'm brainstorming ideas. What's around me? And you look and you see a sofa in your house, and you're like, okay, sofas. I'm gonna drop ship them online. I'm gonna build a sofa store. Well, even within that niche and within that product type, there's products that appeal to lower income people, there's products that appeal to upper middle class, and there's products that appeal to wealthy people. So in that example, again, we'll just say sofas is what you're researching. For the lower income, you're most likely looking at products like those cheaper futons. There's expensive ones too, but I'm talking about the cheaper ones that you could find at Walmart for $100, $200, and that would appeal to people that obviously can't afford more expensive ones. So upper middle class, you're most likely talking about some run-of-the-mill fabric or leather 3-seater sofa, maybe with something with a cool design on it, or cool design to it, I should say, where the selling price is somewhere around $1,500. You do your research. Again, we'll cover that in next week's Dropship Weekly, but you'll find that the average price point is somewhere around there. Now, again, you also have sofas that appeal to the wealthy, and these are most likely custom made, maybe even totally custom designed. Most likely, the people can send in their exact dimensions, send in what type of fabric or leather they want, have the thing made to spec, and that might cost anywhere from $7,500 or more. Now, based on what we just talked about, when it comes to pricing, you might be thinking like, okay, I should sell the one for $7,500, change that color, because that's going to make me the most amount of money, net profit per sale. It's the most expensive. While that is true, you'd make the most amount net per sale. Selling to the wealthy is not a lifestyle business because they're spending more money. They do expect a different level of service. Telling you this from experience, selling to all 3 different buckets. And it's a lot more back and forth. It's a lot more pre-selling. It's a lot more support after the product is received. And to make that one sale and keep it, right, to have them not want to return it, it's a process. So not saying you should never do it, but that's not a true lifestyle business. Now, with the upper middle class, right, products around $1,500, selling to households with a combined income of about $150K or more, these are the type of people that are used to spending online. They are comfortable buying online. They don't typically, again, this will vary from niche to niche, but they don't typically require a bunch of pre-selling and post-sell follow-ups. The return rate's not high, and the products are in this range where you can make a good margin per sale. And if this is making sense, guys, let me know in the chat. Also, I do see all the questions coming in, and once we go through the 3 points I wanted to cover about the best products to sell, I will be answering them. But let me know if we're all on the same page so far. And again, if you're getting value, do me a favor, give the video a like. And if you know anybody that would benefit from this, do me a favor, click the share button and share it with somebody who needs to hear these messages, right? Somebody that's trying to build their very own highly profitable semi-automated store. Let's just keep going though. We're going to go all the way to the left to lower income. Now, surprisingly, this wasn't something I expected when I was first getting into e-commerce and not sure of what demographics to sell to. What I realized is that low income and wealthy actually caused a lot of the same issues that I was experiencing when it comes to customer service. So I just mentioned wealthy, there's more pre-selling. I also realized that with lower income households selling lower income products that appeal to them, there's also more pre-selling. Something else I noticed is with the wealthy, we also had a higher return rate. And I realized selling to lower income households, we also had a higher return rate. So the things happened for different reasons. For example, higher return rates with the wealthy, a lot of times was, again, they spent $7,500, $10,000 on a product. If it didn't meet exactly what they had in their mind, then there's going to be a problem, right? And with the lower income, they're spending a lot of times the last of their money on the best product they can afford. And then the product arrives and it's a cheap product and it's not what they thought it was going to be. And then they want to send it back. So again, different reasons, but 2 problematic demographics to sell to if you're looking to build a lifestyle business. Whereas again, a lot of those problems are removed when you're selling to the upper middle class because they are comfortable buying online. Again, they're used to it. And what I've realized is customer service, return rates, pre-selling, post-sale follow-ups, it all drops drastically when you stay in this window. So my advice is do this, and as you're brainstorming niches, keep that in mind. One more thing I did want to share here in regards to demographics is pricing, because we get questions about this, and I figure I'll just address it now before we even do the Q&A portion. So this is in regards to profit margins. So kind of combining what we talked about in step 1 and now what we're talking about in step 2. Now, it's possible that you might find a niche that appeals to the upper middle class where the price point is, let's just say it's $200, right? So it meets the price criteria that I said before. That's sale price, $200 sale price, and upper middle class, so UMC. But maybe that product is something that's really large and is really heavy. And maybe shipping for that product costs $100. So if that's the case, let's just say it costs $100 to ship. We'll do this in red because it's a deduction. And let's just say that your product cost of goods sold is also 100. So your COGS, cost of goods sold. Well, now you're selling products that appear to be at the right price, right? And you're selling them at what appears to be the right market, but your profit margin is $0. So this is why there's not just like one thing to think about and to take as, what do they say? Take as gospel when you're doing your research. You need to really look at multiple different areas to not only brainstorm niches but to validate them as well. Also, I want to share this. Let me see if I can do this. For everybody watching that's a member of Dropship Lifestyle, if you have ideas and you're not sure if they pass all of our criteria or not, let me switch to this. Log into the members area at courses.dropshiplifestyle again. And then in the Dropship Blueprint, you can click Start Lesson. And from here, I'm gonna wait for it to load. It always goes slow when I'm live streaming because it uses like all the bandwidth. But yeah, you can log into your members area and then you'll see in the right-hand column, it says Get Your Niche Verified. Do that, okay? If you're a member of Dropship Lifestyle and you have ideas, again, log into the members area, click Get Your Niche Verified, and you will get everything you need to get the green light. Like my team will literally review it for you based on all the criteria I'm talking about, but also based on the information we have from building hundreds and hundreds of stores. Okay, let me pop back in here and let's go ahead and keep moving on. Robert says, thanks for the information, Mr. K. You are welcome. Anton is good with me though. Gilly says your program is very expensive. Yeah, I don't believe that. I think it's extremely underpriced actually. And I also think it's like subjective. So it would be expensive if you joined it and watched a video and thought, oh, that's cool. But if you're serious about building a real business and you want literally the blueprint that I've come up with after 13 years in this business, that will totally like take you past everybody else that's going through 13 years of trial and error, then it's extremely underpriced because you can easily get your money and sales back in a very short amount of time. Of course, I can't make any income claims or anything, but for what you get, if you're serious, it's way underpriced, especially because we don't take equity or anything. You know, what you build is yours and yours alone. With that being said though, guys, let's go ahead and move into the third tip that I wanted to share about the best products to sell online before we get into the Q&A. And that is when it comes to brand loyalty. Now, this again is something for now, just try to have this in your head as you're brainstorming products. Again, whether you're writing it on a pen and paper or typing it in a notes app. Actually, I'm gonna use this as an example. So when it comes to picking niches, right? We want to sell in niches where there is no brand loyalty. And I should say little to no because there's always, some people that are more, it's the best way to describe it, more people that maybe are more knowledgeable about specific niches, but to the general public, the majority of our future customers, we want them to have no brands in their head that they already think this is what I'm going to get. Most obvious example. So right now I am making notes on my broken iPad. See this? We were on vacation in Italy last summer when we could still travel. And I brought this iPad, which is my new one, and I brought my older one, and he dropped both of them he took them out of my bag. I didn't give it to him. Took them out of my bag and dropped them. Now this one has a broke camera and the other one doesn't turn on. Hide electronics from kids. But yeah, when I wanted a tablet, right? It wasn't even a question in my mind, like, let me go on Google and search Google for tablet and see what comes up. For me, I use a lot of Apple ecosystem products, so I bought an iPad. The only other logical thing that popped into my head was possibly getting a product from Microsoft in their Surface line, because I use some of their products as well. The whiteboard I'm drawing on right now is actually a Microsoft Surface product. So those are industries, again, tablets. They would meet the demographic, right, that we just talked about. They would meet the price point, but they appeal to, they appeal to the middle class, but the brand loyalty is solidified. You're not gonna find 20 different brands out there that you could sell for that make tablets that people actually want. So keep that in mind. Another example, I'm standing right now, again, at my stand-up desk. And there are probably some people that think, I want a stand-up desk and a brand pops into their head for. I'll tell you, I've bought stand-up desks for my old place in Austin, Texas, for our old office in Austin, Texas, for my home in North Carolina, for our studio in North Carolina. And even though I bought stand-up desks 4 times, I never had a brand in my head for who makes them, or I must get an Apple stand-up desk, right? So that's what we want. Niches where there's no brand loyalty for, because what we're looking for, again, this is something we're gonna validate next week, is can we find at least, but greater than, at least 20 brands that we can sell for on our dropshipping store. So keep that in mind, guys, as you're doing your brainstorming this week, the things that are imperative when it comes to the best products to sell online. Make sure there's no brand loyalty. Make sure that the products appeal to the upper middle class, but also that if the products are large and heavy to ship, that they're expensive enough where the spread between wholesale and the price you sell for is big enough that you can make money. And make sure you're selling products that are, in my opinion, at least $200 so that you can make real money every time you get an order, so that you can actually build a business that gives you the lifestyle you want, and so that you can eventually reinvest into your company and have it grow to the next level and the next level and the next level. So let me know, guys, if this is making sense, and we are gonna go ahead and start the Q&A. Let me pull this up here. Also, I'm just gonna say we have questions from, who's this? This is not live, this is a recording. This is live. It's July 27th, right? Yeah, this is live. So what we're gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna take some questions from YouTube. We're gonna hop around. I'm gonna take some from Facebook, and I'm also gonna take some from Instagram. So if you already asked, just hang out. I will get to your question. And if you didn't ask yet, go ahead and type it in. So I see on Facebook, Tori said, can you offer a payment plan? Tori, email support@dropshiplifestyle.com. I'm not sure if there's anything available now, but email support@dropshiplifestyle.com. Just say you were watching Dropship Weekly and Anton told you to email in. And if we have anything available, our team can offer it for you. I'm not gonna be able to read this name. Says, can you give me no, it says, when is the next discount for the course? So we don't do like discounts. We don't do promotions on Dropship Lifestyle or anything. I should say we don't have like scheduled ones. But what we do is for everybody that attends our webinar, we do make a special offer. So the way you can find out more about that, I'll pull it up on the screen, is go to, where is it? Here. Go to dropshipwebinar.com. Wait till the end of the Q&A so you can get the most value from this live stream. But after we wrap up, go to dropshipwebinar.com. You get a free training there. You get a list of 237 products that meet our criteria. And then you also get a special offer for our flagship program called the Dropship Blueprint. That's dropshipwebinar.com. If somebody could put that in the chat, I would really appreciate it. If somebody could post that link. Okay. Um, Vlado says, hi, Anton, how are you? Yeah, pretty good. I don't know if anybody saw, if you're a member of Dropship Lifestyle, you probably saw I posted a video in our private Facebook group this morning. And it was just talking about problem solving, because I probably look shot right now. And that's because for the past 4 days, I've been dealing with errors on some of our WordPress sites. And you guys know this, if you're a member of Dropship Lifestyle, I do not recommend WordPress at all for e-commerce. Use Shopify every day of the week. But we've been having some issues where some of our sites keep going down and our hosting company can't get to the bottom of it, and our developer really isn't sure what's causing it. And we brought on freelancers and contractors, and there's nobody on our team that just says, oh, here's the solution. So since Friday, I think at 5 a.m., I've been dealing this with myself, because I'm responsible, right? I own the company. So yeah, things are okay. I'm definitely not as relaxed as I usually am on a Monday, but overall, I can't complain. Life is good. Could be in a lot worse of a situation, and we're getting things resolved. Okay. TM says, power intro, motivating. Awesome. I appreciate that. I love that intro too. It gets me going. Salima says, are there certain air mile credit cards that are good for both Canadians and the USA? So I don't have any I could recommend for Canada, because obviously I'm based in the States. What I would recommend though is ask that question in Dropship Labs, in our members only Facebook group, and you should get some answers. I'm sure people that have been around the block from Canada in Dropship Lifestyle know the answer to that. Okay, TM says, does your DSL program go into more depth on how to check for map suppliers? Yeah, no. So the free training gives you a great intro to it, but in Dropship Lifestyle and the Blueprint, yeah, we go extremely deep, and there's nothing the way I like to say it is there's no stone left unturned. So yes, we go into a lot more depth on everything in the Blueprint. It's 80 something lessons that go deep. Juliet says, do you provide a website, or do we build it on our own? And if so, do you help out in building the site? So yeah, Juliet, let me show you this. Hide the comment, pull up this. I think you asked this question earlier when I was showing those examples or those screenshots from members saying their sites look awesome. So this is the Dropship Blueprint in our members area. And in module 3, it's called Create Your Website. So here you get access to the Dropship Lifestyle Shopify theme, which is a custom theme that we created for ourselves and that we give to members. But in module 3, we're showing you how to do it. So literally showing you how to set up a domain name, how to create collections, upload product, add pages and blog posts, create your menus, configure your Shopify settings, customize your theme, use discount codes, install Shopify apps, set up your email addresses, get everything linked on Google. We cover everything, right? We teach you it. We also offer a service to our members that's not, it's not included with the program, but we offer a service where our internal team can build your store for you. So it's an optional upgrade. You can choose that either when you're enrolling in Dropship Lifestyle, or if you're a member, you can go into resources in your members area and you can sign up for it there. And basically what happens is you get to skip module 3 because our team just does the work for you. But that's called our web design package. Okay, the next question says, is it minimum 20 suppliers or brand? Oh, is minimum 20 suppliers / brands a must when picking a niche? So the way that I'll say this is, if it's not your first store, then no. But if you're just getting started and you don't have a track record or results yet, you want at least 20. That way, and we talked about this last week in the episode about the compound effect, but you want this because they're not all going to approve you from day one. So day one, you might get 10 out of 20 approvals. And then maybe 3 months later, as you start to prove yourself, you'll get 5 more approvals. And then maybe 3 months later, once you're up and running and making money and profitable and have traffic and have customers, then you'll get approved for the final 5, and then you'll have everybody. But you don't want to start your first store and find 10 prospects and then maybe get 3 approvals and really not have enough to work with. So that is why I recommend 20. Okay, Juliet says, can you also add your own products? Yes, Juliet, we recommend you add your own and we show you how. Tammy says, great job, everyone. I appreciate that, Tammy, and I'm sure all of the members do as well. Salima says, average order value can be made up of more than like upsells or one product or one. Yeah, so when I say average order value, it does mean the combined value of the order. So in your example, if somebody added, let's just say, they added a stand-up desk where the price was $600 of that stand-up desk, but then they added a stool and the stool was $250, and that was our average order value, then our average order value would be $850 because it was the combination of multiple products. So yeah, that's the answer. And typically I will say, like, of course we do cross-sells, we do upsells, we do post-purchase follow-ups, but typically the bulk of that average order value is from that main product. And then it slightly goes up with other stuff, which is, it's great to have, it should be there, but most of it's coming from that main core products. The Iridian says, how do we find freight companies with white glove service, for example? Yeah, so white glove service is something I talk about a lot in the Dropship Blueprint and give some information there. But what I would recommend you do is reach out to your current suppliers. And you said what? For example, if it was appliances. So if you were selling for an appliance company that sold kegerators, I would talk to my sales rep there and say, hey, we're interested in offering white glove service for our customers. Do you have any companies that you work with or recommend? Or do you have any companies that your other retailers work with that seem to be picking up a lot of orders from your warehouse? So we always prefer initially to go direct to the source. So ask your brands. And if that doesn't work, I'd recommend following the training on it in the Dropship Blueprint. Next question says, what niches in your experience has higher profit margins? So yeah, it's not really about niches. And this is where I think people get, I don't know, maybe confused. But the way that we've seen it is, I'm just going to keep using the stand-up desk example. Let's just say there were two suppliers that made stand-up desks and they both had an average price of $1,000 to sell for, right? MAP was $1,000. It's definitely possible that, let's call them suppliers A and supplier B. Maybe I reach out to supplier A and they say, okay, here, you could sell this stand-up desk. The MAP price is $1,000 and your wholesale price is $500. And then supplier B says, okay, here, you can sell this stand-up desk and MAP is $1,000 and your wholesale price is $350. So it's not based on the niche as much as it's based on that exact supplier. And even with suppliers, a lot of times it can vary from product to product. So there's not like, like, oh, this niche, the margins are insane. It's more about suppliers within niches. David says, hey, Anton, how are you? Do you ever run into issues with inventory management with your suppliers? David, yeah. Especially like since COVID, I cover this in my recent podcasts. So again, if you're not subscribed yet, go to your favorite podcast player and search for eCommerce Lifestyle and listen to the most recent episodes. I give some tips there. Let me see how we're doing on time. Okay. Facebook is always low on questions. We got a bunch on YouTube, and then I got Instagram too. So I'm gonna do a few more YouTube, then we'll hop to Instagram for a bit. Do we need 100 demo products? No, I only recommend like 3 to 5 demo products. You don't need much at all. What metrics do you aim to achieve before building a second or third store? That's a great question. There's not like an exact thing that I would tell you. What I would say is, let's just say for your first store, like I would think of it this way, right? Let's say your first store, you found 20 potential brands and you do get approved with 10 of them on day one, and you upload those products and you set up your initial ad campaign, like I teach you how to do in the Dropship Blueprint, and sales are coming in and it's making money. That's great, right? But to me, that doesn't mean, okay, build store 2. Instead, what that means is, okay, now we're up, we're running, we have traffic coming from our initial Google campaign, we're getting sales, we're profitable. Now, let me go into my Google campaign, let me do what Anton shows in the blueprint and optimize it and start to segment out products. Let me make sure I have my dynamic product ads working correctly on Facebook. If I don't yet, let me make sure that Facebook campaign is optimized. Let me make sure I have my abandoned cart emails set up and working and bringing in sales. Let me make sure I have my product pages optimized. Let me make sure I have all the images I can have for my best-selling products. So let me make sure then I can circle back, and get maybe another 5 out of those 10 suppliers. So it's not like an exact metric, but it's kind of like trying to I want to say make the most out of your first store. It's never going to be at 100% streamlined and optimized, but get it to where it's, 90% of the way there. Maybe there's still some work to do, but you can do that while simultaneously launching a new store. So keep putting your time into that first one until you get it towards the top it could be at, because it's always going to be an easier win to do that rather than start again and have a bunch of stores operating at maybe 40 or 50% of what they can do. But that's a great question. Hi, Anton. Would you start a separate store for one gold supplier that offers you an exclusivity agreement? I might. So that's a great question. I've done things similar to that in the past. I wouldn't do it from day one. What I would do is take that brand and I would put it on your main store, and I would make ads specific for that brand. So for example, inside of Google Shopping, I would have all of the products from that brand not included in my main alpha and beta campaign. And by the way, if anybody is like, what are you talking about, Anton? After this call, let me pull the link up. Go to that URL. Go to dropshipwebinar.com. Free training plus special offer on the dropship blueprint. But yeah, I would have them running as their own ads. In Facebook for my dynamic product ads, I would have them as their own as well. And what I would do is let maybe a month go by or 2 months based on how much traffic you get and how much traffic is available. And I would see how those products are doing. And if they are doing very well for you and they're making you a bunch of money in Canada, I would then spin them off into that separate site. I would keep them on my main site, but I would make all the ads and everything else go directly to that new site, because what you're gonna get there is really that niche specificity, and you're gonna get the SEO effect of being that company that literally pops up and dominates Google for everything in Canada. So start the way I just said, and then eventually, again, if it outperforms everything, bring it into its own site. It's a great question though. Would you recommend an 11-year-old girl to start an e-commerce store with her father? I guess it depends. I don't know. I have a 2-year-old son now, almost 3. And when he's ready, I'm going to do it with him. Yeah, I guess that would be the answer. I don't know. I'm up for it. If I'm going to do it, yeah, maybe, why not? Yeah. Guess it depends on the kid, right? But if you're thinking about it and the kid seems into it, I would say go for it. It's fun, right? Because worst case scenario, you guys do the work together and you never get it to what I was talking about when is like the absolute max potential, but you still have this project you worked on together. Maybe it's bringing in some sales, making some money, but either way, you have this thing that you created together. So I think, yeah, if you're not going into it thinking like, we're going to do this together and it's going to make $1 million the first year, then do it, have fun with it, and see what you can grow it into. What percentage of your money from your monthly net income do you use for personal and business expenses? Yeah, I'm not going to answer that because obviously I don't think there is a fixed answer. Like everyone's needs are different, but obviously as you make different amounts, maybe you spend more or less as a percentage. I'll tell you, even when I wasn't making a lot of money, when I was first getting started, I've always lived well below my means. Just not that big into like material things. So, but to give a percentage, I don't think it really makes sense because incomes vary so much. But that's a decision, yeah, personal decision, I guess, to make. Is it necessary to post our business address on an e-commerce site? I don't know if it's necessary, but we do it, and we use UPS store addresses to get them. Yes, this is live. Okay. I'm going to take some questions from Instagram and then I'm going to hop back into YouTube. Again, Facebook, come on, guys. You're slacking with questions. We have so much on these other platforms. Okay, let me get a couple of these. Mohit says, what payment methods do you recommend if we are outside of the USA? Yeah, you can always use like PayPal, a business account. Not my preferred method. You can do that. Also, I would recommend, let me pull this up. You go to just Google Shopify payments supported countries, and you'll see all the countries that are supported by it now. There's a bunch of them. Okay. Why not drop ship on Amazon? That could be an episode on its own. Short answer is if you're selling on Amazon or eBay or anybody else's platform, you don't have a business. You have a customer, and that customer is Amazon or eBay. So you're not building something where you have customer data and lead data coming to you. If Amazon or eBay decided to close your account tomorrow, you're literally out of business with no assets to use and revamp and rebuild with. Also, because it's the competition is insane. Like if you were selling a stand-up desk there, everybody else that's selling stand-up desks are literally going to be bidding with you, and there's no benefit to you as a reseller to be there unless this still isn't dropshipping. You should never dropship on Amazon, but if you have your own private label brand that you sell on Shopify for, then yes, it would make sense to have a presence on Amazon too, but definitely not for dropshipping. Again, I mean, I literally have a checklist of pros and cons. Maybe we'll cover that in a future episode, but yeah, it's not worth it at all. Doug says, how long does it take to find a winning product? I mean, like I just gave you some tips, right, for brainstorming. If you follow everything I just covered for brainstorming, maybe that takes you an hour or so to come up with a list of 50 ideas. Then maybe you spend another few hours validating those ideas. So not long, few hours total, maybe 5 hours. Okay. Connect 2 says, there's always weird usernames on Instagram. It says, if I can't see niche stores in Google Shopping and Google searches, are they still dropship friendly? Yes, as long as the other stores that you're seeing that sell maybe like in more related niches, if they are dropshipping, then you're still good to go. I cover how to test for this in module 2 of the dropship blueprint. So if you haven't seen it in a while, go back to the dropship blueprint, rewatch module 2, and I cover all of this there. Okay, last question I'll take from Instagram says, should the dropshipping tickets be high ticket? What should be the price of the product to be at least? Yeah, 200 minimum. This question was probably asked before I just went through all of that. So I would say circle back and watch that. Also, for everybody that's watching this, that's not following us on Instagram, if you use Instagram, go there, search for Dropship Lifestyle. And I guess, I don't know if they call it liking or following the page, but we have over 100,000 likes now, which is awesome. We hit 100,000 last week on Friday. So super happy about that. And we post a lot of unique content there. It's just at Dropship Lifestyle. Okay. Do some more questions here from YouTube. And this is from KZ197. It says, do we need to have full product descriptions on our demo site? No, short product descriptions are fine. Yeah, 2 to 3 sentences, something generic is totally fine. Mr. Slime Reacts says, hi, Anton. I'm 15 and starting up M6 first store, probably my first store. Do I need an EIN or an LLC? You don't need an LLC. You do need an EIN to get approved with most suppliers. Those are free to get online. One thing I'll say is I love that you're starting young. I wish I started when I just graduated from college, so I was 21. I wish I would have started younger because I definitely could have done this like simultaneously while I was in school. But I do know Shopify has like a requirement. I think you have to be 18 to be like the primary owner of the account. So definitely, whether it's a parent or a family member or a guardian or something, I would say don't go in there and like set it all up yourself, because what probably will happen is the account will get flagged eventually and they'll ask you to like prove who you are. And if you can't prove that you're over 18, you could lose everything that you worked for. So definitely keep that in mind. Again, I'm not saying don't do it, but do it with somebody that's over 18. Okay. Hadi says, hello, Anton. I finally launched my store this week. Let me pull this up on the screen. What factors should determine my budget for Google Ads? I'm starting with 200. Is it enough? What do you think of hiring an agency? So first off, congratulations. That is awesome. For your budget, if you're starting with 200, I would recommend spend $30 a day on your Google shopping campaigns on the alpha beta. So 30 total per day on Google Shopping. And then I would recommend spending between $3 and $5 a day on Facebook dynamic remarketing. Do not hire an agency. No way. You know, especially when you're first getting started, like nobody's going to get your results until you do it for yourself. And honestly, for most people, I recommend you continue to run your ads yourself, even as you scale. So don't do that. For ads though, this is important. I hope you did this, but when you're first starting your new Google ad account and even your Facebook account, you should be able to get $100 credit for both of those platforms. So that would turn your $200 budget into a $400 budget and double the lifetime of it. So yeah, that's awesome though. Congratulations. Niche verification by your team is kept confidential and protected and non-usable. 100%, yes. It's not even available to our team. It's available to only a few people, I would say, core team. So it's not just like blasted out into the world of everybody that works with us. So yes, it's 100% confidential. Okay. Tin Din, Vietnam, love it, says, so let's say I wanted to sell waterproof outdoor backpacks, but I'm introducing a new style and look. Do I still account for brand loyalty from TNF or Columbia, etc.? So that's a great question. What I would recommend you do is, again, I'm assuming you have access to the dropship blueprint. Go through where I'm showing how to validate your niche ideas, because it's definitely possible that the top level niche is outdoor backpacks. And then what I would call the sub niche, the thing that's more specific, can work, right? Because yeah, backpacks, outdoor backpacks, that there's a lot of big brands there, but it's possible something more specific, one under, you can definitely compete with. What I would want to know and what I would advise you to check is, can you validate that specific niche and put it through all the criteria that I teach in module 2 of the blueprint? And if you can, that's good. You're good to go. Okay. Hadi says, question pull up. Yeah. My products range in price between $30 and $700. Should I run Google Shopping ads for all products? No. Yeah, no. What I would advise right away is have the products that are under $200, have them go into your Google Merchant Center, and then enable what is called surfaces across Google, which is going to get you free impressions and clicks from Google product listings, not Google product listing ads, but Google product listings. And then your more expensive products, put those into your Google ad campaign for your alpha beta structure and setup. And guys, we're almost out of time. I'm gonna do a few rapid fire last minute questions. What I also wanna say though is, again, if you're getting value from this show, especially if you're tuning in live, definitely if you can let me know. You don't have to type anything. I know I don't like doing that either. I'm an introvert, it's weird. But if you just wanna give the video a like or a thumbs up and share it maybe to a group or to a page or to a person that that would benefit, I would definitely appreciate that. And for everybody that is brand new here and not part of Dropship Lifestyle yet, I highly recommend when we wrap this up, go to that link, dropshipwebinar.com. I saw somebody put it in the chat before, which is awesome. So check that out. You'll get a free training there, plus a PDF when you show up on the webinar of 237 profitable products that meet our criteria. And you'll also get a special offer for the Dropship Blueprint. So check that out after this call wraps up. Few more last minute rapid fire questions from Tammy. She says, how to start brainstorming? How did you get to paddle boards? So literally, it sounds crazy. It doesn't sound crazy, but look around you, right? Like I came up with paddle boards when I was living in Austin, Texas, and I was living right on Lady Bird Lake. And every morning, go have a coffee on my balcony and watch people paddleboard by. Paddleboards. That's how I came up with it. So I give a lot of different ways to brainstorm and places to find ideas and inspiration. That is all covered in module 1 of the Dropship Blueprint. Next question, when you run Google Ads, does it show on the Google Shopping page? Lots of competitors with free shipping. Yes, they do show on the Google Shopping page. That's where you want to be. And you should be offering free shipping. We offer free shipping on all of our stores for all of our products. Again, I teach how to do that profitably in the blueprint. Okay. Klaviyo is still supported by Shopify, 100%. What is the minimum suppliers you should start with? Again, you want to find at least 20, but even when you get your first 2 approvals and have the products uploaded to your site, I would still recommend following our Google Ads training and our Facebook remarketing training. Get those set up, have ads coming in so you can get sales and make some money. Again, that's with at least 2 suppliers, but then in the background, make sure everything else is still being uploaded. Yeah, good question though. Okay. Yeah, again, I don't recommend paying agencies anything. Do the work yourself when you're first getting started. All right, guys, so we are just over an hour. What we're going to do is wrap up this episode. Just want to say thank you all again for being here. Hopefully you got your question answered. If not, I'd recommend you hop on again next week and ask earlier, because I do start at the top of the list and work the way down. So for anybody that's brand new, again, check out dropshipwebinar.com. And in the meantime, until we talk again, stay healthy, stay safe. Hopefully you don't go crazy. Hopefully you can deal with any problems that arise and build an even stronger store. So what we're going to do, guys, is wrap up this episode with a quick testimonial from a Dropship Lifestyle member. Again, I like to call out our successful members that share the results. I know I appreciate it. It's what motivates me to hop on and do these things. So we're going to wrap it up with a quick testimonial, and I hope that we can work together soon and I can help you build your very own highly profitable semi-automated store. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, my name's Carla. I am a mum to 3 kids, aged 6, 4, and 1. I signed up to the DSL course 8 months ago, and I launched my site a month later. In March of this year, so a month ago, I hit 6 figures in sales. And I've done that working from this office, my couch, and while looking after my 3 kids. I have worked very hard, but it's been possible to do from home while I am looking after my kids. So if I can do it, anyone else can do it. The course has been 100% the main reason why I've been able to achieve this. Prior to doing this, to doing the course, I was selling on eBay and I was selling $7.99 cookie cutters, and I was doing quite well. In terms of my sales were quite good, but on very, very low margins and also very low revenue. So I wasn't really making much. And to hit 6 figures in 7 months has just been unbelievable. Um, I I can't thank the DSL community enough. The course and also the Facebook group and the forum have been incredible. And it's so supportive to be around people that think the same way as you, and they give you get motivation from seeing what everyone else is doing and what they're achieving, and knowing that you can do it too. And I guess for me, the thing that I had to overcome the most was the fact that I was always negative in my mind, thinking, why me? How can I achieve this? I'm just a mum. Um, I don't know enough. And I guess the course gives you everything that you need to know, and the community gives you the rest. And then all you have to do is put in the hard work. And yeah, so I say, if you've got the opportunity, absolutely give it a go. You won't regret it.